ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः स्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः। स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। Hari Om, salutations to all. So we were seeing the instructions given in the fifth mantra about contemplation, and Brahmaji said to Ashvalayana Rishi, Vivikta deshe cha sukhasanastha, sit quietly in a solitary place, in a comfortable posture, samakshira griva, shuchi samagriva shira shariraha. In a clean place, sit erect, with the head, neck and the spine in a straight line. Then atyashramastaha sakalendriyani nirudhya. Sit with the attitude that I am only a seeker of the truth. Have the attitude of detachment. Atyashramastha indicates attitude of detachment. At a deeper level, I am not even a jiva who goes through four stages in life: brahmacharya, grahastha, vanaprastha, and sannyasa. So, dropping all identifications, one sits, having withdrawn all the senses, sakalendriyani nirudhya, all the senses of knowledge, all the senses of action, having withdrawn, and bhaktya swagurum pranamya, with great devotion, invoke your guru, surrender to the guru, and then start the contemplation. So, here the pointers then. So, we had stopped till here. Now, the 4 pointers are given in this mantra. In the space in the heart, Hritpundarikam, in the lotus of the heart. So the heart is like a inverted lotus, which is closed, like a lotus bud. So in the heart, meaning contemplate as the aham, the real I is this. Heart is the seat where we touch and we say I. So that small I is what we identify ourselves with as a body, as a jiva. That has to be negated, and the assertion has to happen of who I am truly, the real I. And so the purpose of dhyan is not thoughtlessness. The purpose of dhyan is not to attain some siddhis or to get some special vision. The highest is to know the self. Who am I truly? And that Atma is infinite. But not knowing that, identifying with this finite, then we feel bound, limited, and then this aham arises, this small I arises. and it keeps on changing every moment. But the real aham, the pure consciousness, that doesn't change. And so when it is said, meditate in the heart, contemplate on the self in your heart, it means to contemplate with the I thought, the real I. That today I think I am short, I am tall, I am dark, I am happy, I am sad, I am successful, I am failure. Those are all aham vrittis, small I. Those have to be negated on one hand. On the other hand, we assert. So the negation will automatically happen when I assert. But that assertion is not a mechanical assertion. That's why the earlier mantra said Vedanta Vijnana Sunischitarthaha. One has studied, reflected, come to a conviction that yes, I am that, I am not this. Then this nididhyasan will work. So one says, 4 pointers given are Virajam, Vishuddham, and Vishadam, Vishokam. 4. Vichintya Madhye is to go with Hritpandorikam. In the lotus of your heart, contemplate. Madhye is the center, meaning in the core of my personality where I feel I am, aham, small I, aham vritti rises, there only aham is there, the true I is there. And that true I, what is the nature of that true self? Is these 4 pointers, Virajam, Vishuddham, Vishadam, Vishokam. So how does one contemplate? I am Virajam, I am Vishuddham, I am Vishadam, I am Vishokam. And when one says I am Virajam, one identifies with the consciousness. That consciousness is Vishuddham, Virajam, Vishadam, Vishokam. So Virajam, Raja means dust. Virajam, no dust, meaning no impurity, which is what the next word also says. Vishuddham is the purest. So that which does not have any impurity. We can also take the meaning as that which does not have any attachments, which does not have any restlessness. Raja can also mean in this context the Rajoguna. So no Rajas, no Tamas, pure Sattva is the nature of the mind which contemplates, but the pure consciousness does not have the 3 gunas. No Rajas, no Tamas, no Sattva. So by saying Rajas, Tamas and Sattva also are implied, meaning I am that truth which is beyond the 3 gunas. So any mental modification arises is in 3 gunas. Whatever thoughts arise, they will be either of the 3 gunas only. Either there is laziness, lethargy, ignorance, dullness, careless, procrastination, tamas. Or there is some thought of activity, achievement, success, goal, ambition, attachment, greed, rajoguna. Or sattva guna, peace, balance, knowledge, creativity, love, happiness, all sattva guna. Each one is subtler than the other. Subtler than tamas is rajas, subtler than rajas is sattva. Atma is beyond the 3. So Virajam means that. Hritpundarikam, Virajam, beyond all Rajoguna. Then Vishuddham. So if you see Gurudev's commentary here, Gurudev gives this nice analogy of the water. So what is impurity? He says when a substance has something which is not that substance and anything else added to it, it becomes the impurity. Like the water. Pure, so water alone, if it is there, H2O, hydrogen, oxygen, that's it, that is water. If one spoon of sand is added, mud is added, Now that is not water, it has come from outside, impurity. And that way you add a spoon of sugar and mix it, and then one doesn't think it is impure because it is drinkable. Mud water not drinkable. But the idea is from the standpoint of definition of purity there, anything which is not a part of that substance is added from outside. So it will affect that substance. Now that substance is mixed, it's a mixture now. It's not pure by itself. So it's water and sugar. So it's a sugar, water. So what is the point here? We identify ourselves with this mixture, Sanghata it is called. It's a compilation. His body is compilation of all this, They used to say calcium, carbon, phosphorus. So it is made up of 5 elements, Sanghata of 5 elements. If you say 7 dhatus, Twadmangsa, Twang, Mamsa, Meda, uh, Asthi, Majja, Snayu, all that. The skin and the bones and the flesh and the blood and all that, this 7 dhatus which make up this body. Now each of them have their own impurities. All these 7 come together. So body, if you see, is in the scriptures, it is called as a bundle of dirt and filth. And one rejects it, malabhandavat. It is a abode of dirt. See, human body that way, if we see factually what it is that only. What comes out of the body is nothing great. All impurities only come out. So what should be inside? Yet it is the most sophisticated equipment and best equipment required to do sadhana and realize the truth. Here, when we are dropping identification, then we say that compared to that consciousness is the purest. There's nothing else in it. It is infinite. There is water and there is mud or sugar. So there are 3 things, right? Then that mud or sugar can be added into the water or both can be added. So consciousness is infinite. There is no two. So what else will get inside it? Nothing. It is the purest. Meaning I am that which is purest. See, all these thoughts which we otherwise have, this I am impure, I am a sinner, I am unhappy, I am this, I am that, all those will get substituted when I have this clarity that I am not the jiva at all. I am infinite consciousness, I was, I am, and ever will be pure. Nothing will ever make me impure. Again, all this is to be understood in the right way. That's why the study of Vedanta and the sadhanas for purification of the mind has to be done. Otherwise, one will say, oh, I am not a sinner, then I can do any sins and I will be unaffected by it. That is all misinterpretation of Vedanta. It is not that one can do any kind of negative karma and get away with it. Law of karma will function for anybody as long as I am not out of this false identification completely. And even those who are out of the false identification, prarabdha karma still applies to them. Whatever has been done, the effects of that, it has to be faced. The karma phala has to be faced of what is ready to fructify. So one can't get away. So one can't use this as a escape or an excuse to do anything wrong. So when one says, I am Vishuddham, I am the purest, again, it is not at the mind level. It is not to say that I am pure and you are impure. I, as a seeker, have done so much sadhana, I have attained a level of purity, you have not attained. It is not that jiva level at all. It is the level of infinite consciousness where there is nothing else. There is only one truth. So I am that infinite consciousness which is the purest. The impurities of the body don't belong to me. Impurities of the mind, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya, don't belong to me. Impurities of the intellect, any raga, dvesha, any identification in terms of particular philosophy, certain values, and certain compromise in the values, etc. They don't belong to me. Even the thought process that I am a seeker, I am meditator, that also is limited thought only. Consciousness is the purest illuminator of all these, doesn't get affected. So I am that. So any thought that arises which describes me in a certain way, one rejects. I am not this. Who am I? The observer. So virajam meaning beyond the three gunas. So thoughts come and they go, they will be of the nature of three gunas. I am the observer. I am the gunatita, truth. So virajam, vishuddham, vishadam, clearest. Clearest meaning that which is self-illumining. Swayambhu, one when we say self-existent, it is called, and reveals itself because it is already. It doesn't need anything else to reveal it. Like if we come in a dark room, then we need to put on the light. Then the objects are revealed to us. So a source of light is required. But for the sun, one doesn't need to see a torch saying, okay, in the night, how will I see the sun? So I need a torch and I'll put up and then, oh, there, sun is there. Sun is self-luminous. In its light, everything else is seen. Same way, I am that. So I am that pure consciousness which is Vishuddham. In the light of consciousness, all experiences come and go. I am not the experience, I am the consciousness. When experiences are not there, I am there. When experiences are there, also I am there. Experiences don't define me. Thoughts don't define me. A thought of anger comes, I am the illuminer of that. I am not angry. Thought of love comes, I am the illuminer of that. I am not that entity who is feeling the love or who is expressing that love or who is receiving that love. So one detaches on one hand and one abides as the consciousness. Consciousness is independent. It doesn't require any other source to know. Everything else requires consciousness. Body can't function without consciousness, mind can't feel without consciousness, intellect can't think without consciousness. So one who understands that, he says, I am not the body, my intellect, I am that consciousness, which is the source of everything. So Vishadam, that which is the self-illumining entity. And because it, and being infinite, it is self-luminous, and vice versa also. So I am that infinite consciousness which is self-evident. There's no need of a proof of that actually. We say prove God, prove consciousness exists. Array, we need actually proof for a world to exist, not for consciousness to exist. Because consciousness is ever present. World comes and goes. So what is the proof that world exists? Every moment world is changing. What is the proof that that is real? It is continuously changing. That requires proof actually. Just because I am perceiving something, I feel that is more real. That is a limitation of our senses. Anyway, so Vishuddham means that I am the purest. I don't need any proofs. I don't need any support. Nothing, the presence or absence of anything does not limit me. So I am the illuminer of everything, unaffected. The illuminer will always remain unaffected by what it illumines. That principle we have to know in Vedanta. And that principle applies very deeply in contemplation, that I remain unaffected. Anything that comes and goes, It is a thought, it is a feeling. It may do something to the body, it may do something to the prana. Mind may get agitated or excited, whatever it is. It's a reaction in this BMI. I am the observer. So one doesn't feed those thoughts. One keeps the attention. I am the infinite consciousness. So one may use the word saying Vishadam, Vishokam, you know, Virajam, Vishuddham. Slowly one contemplates that I am Virajam, I am beyond the three gunas, I am beyond any impurity, I am, you know, the purest, Vishuddham, Vishokam, beyond grief, Vishadam, that which is luminous, self luminous, Swayam Jyoti. To keep the focus of the mind on the consciousness. But after some time, the word will stop. One abides as the self. If any thought rises, one watches, I am the observer, this comes, it goes. It came, I saw, it went. Again it came, I saw, it went. After some time, the thought will not rise also. Bas, that is the self. No words, none, nothing. One remains as the Atma. So, that's the purpose. This is how contemplation is done. That I am that self-luminous entity. I am. Bas. And there is no other proof required. Because it is self-luminous. It is Swayam Jyoti. This is the concept when we have so many Swayambhus across the country. Somewhere Ganeshji appears as Swayambhu, somewhere Shivlinga appears as Swayambhu, somewhere Devi appears, different places, Hanumanji. And sometimes you will just see it is a rock, just a rock. Maybe some vague outline is there, but the bhav will be that this is Bhagwan. In somebody's dream it would have come, or somebody while digging something found so many possibilities. Then one starts worshipping Swayambhu. Swayambhu literally means that which is self-evident, self-luminous, doesn't need anything else and has manifested on its own. And so I am that consciousness which is illumining everything else and remains unaffected. No matter what comes, what goes, doesn't get affected at all. How many shows of movies keep on getting projected on the screen? Nothing happens to the screen. Nobody is sitting and watching the screen after one show is over. Why? Oh, because there was a very terrible war in the movie and the whole screen has become red. It remains unaffected. Sakshi also means that. So if I say I am the Sakshi, I am the observer, everything else is observed, I stay as the observer. Sakshat ikshate, one who sees directly, sadhanam vina, without any equipment, and who remains uninvolved, unaffected. That is Sakshi. So Atma is the Sakshi, everything else is the seen. When the seen disappears, the seer also disappears. Sakshi Bhav also goes. Atma remains. That is the set. That is I. So Vishuddham, Virajam, Vishadam, now Vishokam. Beyond grief, Shoka. So why will Shoka arise? Moha leads to Shoka. Avidya leads to Moha. Moha leads to Bhaya and Shoka. Meaning ignorance. When I don't know who am I, then there is a moha, delusion that I am the BMI. Now, if I think I am the BMI, that will lead to attachment, which will lead to fear and sorrow. If I get what I want, I have a fear of losing it. When I lose what I have, there is sorrow. Or if I don't get what I want, there is anger. And that further anger will lead to only frustration and sorrow. So this is the consequence of not knowing who am I. We may think that sorrow comes because of so many other people and the situation, and but it doesn't come because of that. Those are only external stimuli. Sorrow comes because of my ignorance and my delusion and attachment. There is no other cause of sorrow. Whatever be the situation outside, I need not have grief. Gurudev's heart was functioning 16% in the last few years. For anybody else, that will be a cause of sorrow. And people would even sometimes think like that, what is the use of being spiritual? He was so selfless, so dedicated, took the name of Bhagwan, meditated, served the society, did so much. And look at his condition. His heart is working only 16%. I don't think that God exists. I think it is very unfair. How can such a noble soul suffer like this? All that is stupid projection of our mind. Mahatma is not bothered only about that. Why? Because it's up to us. Some prarabdha of the body, some karma, it is getting exhausted. 16%, 80%, 40%, how does it matter? What is available, do the best with it and drop it. At one point, it's going to drop. Mahatma is not bothered at all. What will be a cause of grief and sorrow and all kind of dejection and despondency to others? The Mahatma says it doesn't matter. My happiness doesn't depend on it because I am of the nature of happiness. Vishuddham Vishokam, no grief at all. Some people left Gurudev and went. When he had decided to withdraw, trained somebody, made him, he had done all this succession planning and was going to hand over and withdraw, sit in Uttarkashi and write commentaries. That person departed. With that person, he took so many people from the organization and went. Not one moment of sorrow. Saying that, what is this? I trained this person and so much of investment I did in that person in terms of time, love, energy, resources, everything. Made this person capable and now this person left. He continued to do his work because he was motivated by a higher ideal. Sanatana Dharma has to be revived, Vedanta has to reach the masses, country has to be uplifted, so many things that. So if somebody is there, good. If somebody is not there, good. One keeps doing the seva of Bhagavan. So no cause of sorrow. Why? Because the anchoring is in this absolute truth. This gives the greatest strength. Vedantic knowledge gives the greatest strength. If I am student of Vedanta and I am still having grief, that means I have deep identification, attachment, because sorrow comes only through attachment. Avidya leads to moha, leads to this raga, asakti, that leads to bhaya and shoka. So somewhere I'm attached. Many instances, if you see, there is a cause of, so disease is there, diabetes is there, leg mein there is no sensation, heart is working 16%, there is enough cause of sorrow at the body level to complain. You and I get little headache and we start complaining. No, today I can't attend satsang. Why? I have a headache. And with 16% of heart and diabetes and no feeling in the legs, and he's still walking around and giving 3 talks a day, when the doctor has told him 20 minutes. In the whole day, he can speak only 20 minutes. No sorrow at all. Always laughing, smiling, making others happy. That's the practical application of Vedanta, you see. It's not only in meditation saying, I am Vishokam, I am pure consciousness, beyond grief, beyond sorrow. No doubt one does that in Nididhyasan, but the Vyavahara you will see full of detachment. No attachment to anything. No person, no money, no position, power, nothing. Not even attached to the goal. Worked so hard to revive Sanatana Dharma went through many ups and downs in that process, but no attachment to the goal. If you see, if you listen to Gurudev's talk in the Suvarna Tulabharam, so he says, I am very happy that the Sanatana Dharma is reviving. I may not be there to see its full glory, but I am glad that I contributed to it. And there's a sense of satisfaction that he has, which shows that how selflessly he worked, that he won't even see the results of that. And it's a fact. One of the best examples of that is the Ram Mandir. How much he worked for Ram Mandir, inspired the people to fight for it and supported them when that structure was demolished, Babri Masjid was demolished. Threats were given, attacks could have happened on the ashram, but fearless he was. He didn't, because no attachment. So where there is vairagya, vairagyameva bhayam. And after so many years of struggle, almost 500 years of struggle, we are seeing the result of that. What is our contribution to that movement and what is Gurudev's contribution? You think about that. So many people have sacrificed so much. They couldn't see, but they fought for that. Selfless. So where there is detachment, there is happiness. There is no sorrow. There is selflessness. I am that consciousness which is detached. It doesn't mean one becomes dull, boring. Why? I am only consciousness. No happiness, no sorrow, no excitement. If we study Vedant, one deep level of detachment comes where life becomes a sport. One revels in doing whatever one is doing, one enjoys it. It's a sport. Because it's mithya anyway. I am Atma, bas. Atha para brahmatmana sthiyatam, Shankaracharya ji said, I am the infinite consciousness. My nature is Ananda. That will manifest at all levels. Of course, mind has to be purified for that. If the mind is not purified, then that mind will be shokam. Exact opposite will happen. One may study Vedant, but and one will say in Nididhyasan that I am Virajam, Vishokam, Vishuddham, Vishadam. But exactly opposite will be the behavior. What? Full of this, Rajas. I am Rajoguni. And Shoka, grief. And impurities, Ashuddhi. All that will be there. So complete contradiction will happen. But if one has done earlier what we saw, no, Shraddha, Bhakti, Dhyana, and studied Vedant, got the conviction, purified the mind, did the Ishtadevata Upasana, Karma Yoga Sadhana, all that if one has done, Vishuddham, Virajam, Vishokam, Vishadam, one will experience that in the quiet moments, withdraw, stay as the Atma, and while living in the world, no attachment to anything. Maximum energy one gets from there. Because there is no attachment. Attachment drains, makes the mind complain, greedy, sorrowful, miserable, negative, very possessive. Nothing, no attachment. Energy comes from detachment, happiness from detachment, fearlessness from detachment. So that's the beautiful aspect of shokam. No shoka at all. Hritpandarikam virajam vishuddham vichintya madhye vishadam vishokam. So these four words, very beautiful words these are. One can meditate that I am that infinite consciousness, which is beyond all restlessness, beyond all impurities, beyond all grief, beyond all dependencies. I am infinite independent consciousness. So having given these 4 pointers, further the mantra number 6 also gives more pointers of the truth. These two mantras, so 4 pointers in the earlier mantra, and in this mantra there are 13 pointers in sixth mantra. So totally 17 pointers are there in these two mantras. We can use any one of them, any combination, 2, 3, 4, whatever it is, in the Nididhyasana. Like that, there will be more which will come through the whole Upanishad, and many Upanishads have so many pointers. They all are pointers. Gurudev used to say they are pointers. So in that direction where they are pointing, we have to lift the mind and let go of the mind. What remains is the Atma. So now see the sixth mantra. अचिन्त्यमव्यक्तमनन्तरूपं शिवं प्रशान्तम् अमृतं ब्रह्मयोनिं तथादिमध्यान्तविहीनमेकं विभुं चिदानन्दमरूपमद्भुतम्. So what are the 13 pointers? Achintyam, Avyaktam, Anantarupam, Shivam, Prashantam, Amritam, Brahmayonim. आदि मध्यांत विहीनम एकम शिवम अविभुम चिदानंदम अरूपम अद्भुतम. 13 pointers. So each of these, so it's a continuation. Previous mantra gave 4 pointers, and all of them are pointers of the formless truth. We should know that this is the way of Nididhyasana. See, Upanishad comes from the subtlest to the simplest. The methodology of the Upanishad will always be that we have discussed earlier also, that how the Uttamadhikari will get to know the truth instantly. So the highest truth will be revealed right in the beginning. Then that same thing will get elaborated. For those who can't get it, whose minds are not yet ready, or who need more explanation. So the formless contemplation is what is suggested first. You sit quietly, withdraw the senses, focus your attention, worship the Guru, seek the grace of the Guru, and then contemplate. Now, if contemplation is not steady, then I need to make the mind steady. So then after this mantra, you will see the seventh one will speak about the form. Because then the mind has to be used for the form. The mind has to be trained using the form to make it single pointed. The form will have name, qualities, attributes, lila, everything. And mind gets a vast field to engage in and withdraw from everything else and develop certain single pointedness, devotion, surrender, all that. If somebody has already done those sadhanas and the mind has become quiet, now one is able to steadily contemplate. Then these pointers have to be used. The nature of that form is also this consciousness only. And when we come to that form, we will see more about it. But the point here is these are pointers of the truth, which is nameless, formless, attributeless, infinite consciousness. These pointers have to be used and steadily, in a mind which is quiet, one chants these mantras slowly. And sometimes not even the whole mantra, just 1 or 2 words, and lift the mind to the state that it indicates. That's why Gurudev said it is a pointer. One has to drop the pointer. If one is showing, Gurudev always gave the example of the finger indicating the moon, remains the finger only. But in that direction, if you see, you have to drop the finger. You see only in the direction. If you keep seeing the finger, you can't see the moon. You have to drop that finger, but see in that direction, and the attention shifts from the finger to the moon. Same way, the mind has to be lifted using this pointer. Achintyam, that which is unthinkable. Atma is unthinkable. Acha, it is unthinkable. Then why are we thinking about it? We are not thinking about it. We are contemplating on it as the Atma, that I am that which is beyond thought. I am consciousness. Thinking one has done in the earlier step. Nididhyasan is preceded by Mananam. In Mananam, one has done what is Achintyam. Atma is beyond thought. Atma is that which cannot be thought of, yet it should be thought of. Don't think of it, but yet think of it. That Amrit Bindu Upanishad mantra it is. Means what? Don't think of it as an object. It is not something to be known as an object, like how I know, this bottle or this computer or a particular subject or this person or that particular, idea. It is not to be known as other than I. It is to be known as aham. So it cannot be thought of as an object, but it has to be realized as the subject, and it is beyond subject object. That is absolute truth. So it cannot be thought of like anything else. That's why it is called achintyam. Anything else will have nama, rupa, sambandha, guna, kriya, all that. Name, form, relationship, activity, attributes. Remove all that. What will remain is the Atma. So it is unthinkable because it does not have any of these attributes. Second, it is unthinkable in the sense that it should not be thought of in the same way as we think of anything else, where I remain separate and I want to know something. Here, the knower is the truth. The one who wants to know is the pure consciousness already. One is simply seeking it outside. So that extrovertedness of the mind has to stop. So achintyam means that. So one uses that pointer and lifts the attention and drops the mind, drops all identification, remain as the Atma. What remains is the Atma. So achintyam, the pointer means that, Gurudev used to give the definition, thought is equal to object plus consciousness. Any thought that rises is nothing but object illumined by my consciousness. So if this bottle I am seeing, then through the eyes, the mind has perceived the form, and the thought of the bottle which is rising in the mind is what? The form of the bottle, the name bottle, the shape, the qualities, the idea that this is made up of metal, this is some green color, this is sleek, this is 500 ml water bottle, attributes. So name, form, attributes, my relation with it, all that is illumined in my mind by consciousness. So if I shift the attention from the name, form, attributes, qualities, and I am the witness which illumines this. Now I am not feeding those thoughts about this. I am saying I am the witness. I am achintyam. I am consciousness which is unthinkable. So from extrovertedness, which I would have thought more and more about this bottle, from where I got it, how useful it is, what will I do without it, all those thoughts are gone. One remains, I am the observer. I am consciousness. I am unthinkable. So that is the nididhyasana, lifting the mind to that state and then dropping all false identification. Achintyam, it cannot be thought of. Yet it has to be thought of because that's the only method available to drop false identification. But it has to be thought of as the subject, as the I, real I. I am Achintyam. I am the consciousness which is unthinkable, meaning I am infinite. Grasping can happen. Thought is a boundary. I am that which has no boundaries. When we say, thought is object plus consciousness, consciousness is what? Object minus thought minus object. Mathematically, thought minus object is equal to consciousness. So if you let go of all objects and remain as the subject, and that subject also goes, that is consciousness, achintyam. About that subject, I may use a pointer, as it is said here, achintyam, avyaktam, they are pointers of the true I, the subject. But it is not even that. In relation to thought, it is said it is achintyam. By itself, it is not achintyam also and chintyam also. It only is. That is consciousness. So achintyam. So thought is like a boundary. Awareness is like space. So this has a shape. So this is boundary. Now space has no such boundary. That's a limited example. I'm not saying awareness equal to space, but just to make us understand that any picture, like the picture you see behind there, so that picture has a boundary, it has a frame, in that a certain portion, a space it occupies. But space by itself, it has no such limitations. And even when this boundary is created, this picture takes up a certain space, bottle takes up a certain space. It is not that actually it is creating some divisions in space. Space is one even if this appears with boundaries. Same way, thoughts have boundaries. Hundreds and millions of thoughts can arise, but they don't limit the Atma. They don't make the Atma into that many divisions. Atma remains unaffected, undivided. I am that Atma. And so it is unthinkable. Because usual methods of thinking don't apply here. It is unthinkable because it is infinite. It does not depend on thought. It is not limited by thought. Thought is limited. This is unlimited. Thought is a boundary. This is boundaryless. So how will a thought think about it? The moment it tries to think about it, it will limit it. So that's why even these words are temporarily helping us to lift from one level to a higher level. Then they have to be dropped because ultimate truth is infinite. No word can explain, no word can indicate. It will only limit. So very important that aspect is to understand that how to contemplate. I use a word, lift my attention away from the false to that which is the truth. Then I drop the word, then I drop the meaning of the word also. What will remain is the I, real I. So, for example, if somebody says that, Prakash, come here, you are the speaker, I didn't see that there are some 100 people in front of you, and then you say, Prakash, come here. What will happen? Of those 100 people whose name is Prakash, that person will come forward. Why did that person come forward? Because that person understood that, okay, Prakash means I. He didn't think that somebody called Prakash is being called. Those people whose name is not Prakash, they will think like that. Oh, somebody called Prakash is called. I am not being called. So the word Prakash is rejected by Prakash. The meaning of the word Prakash is also rejected by Prakash. Prakash means light. He is not thinking somebody called light is being called. Or my name is Prakash. Prakash means light. Oh, I am light. Oh. None of those thoughts are there in the mind. The moment it is said, Prakash, come here, what does Prakash think? He rejects the word, he rejects the meaning of the word, and directly takes up the entity who is indicated by that word Prakash. That entity is I. So if he is I am being called, so he comes forward. He doesn't come forward and say that, Prakash, light, all those were being called. No, he says, you called me? Me. He'll say, you called me. I am here. Tell me what should be done. Same thing we have to do in Nididhyasan. Use the word, lift the attention, drop the word, drop the meaning of the word, remain in that state that indicates that I am that Achintyam, I am Vishadam, I am Vishokam, I am Vishuddham. So that is Nididhyasan. But one should know when to reject it. Like how Gurudev gave the example of the pole vault. Using the pole, one pitches that pole into the hole and goes up, and then final stage one drops the pole because one has to cross over. Same way, using these words in a quiet mind. The example given for nididhyasana is if there's a bucket of water which is very still, calm, you put one pearl in that, it will sink deep into that, straight, it will go and settle down there. And you can see, oh, there's a pearl inside. In that way, the mind which has become calm, in that these pointers are dropped, they will go deep and they will transform the subconscious, unconscious mind. All the notions of I, small I, disappear. So, achintyam, I am that achintyam, I am that infinite consciousness which cannot be thought of. Then, avyaktam, it is avyakta, it is unmanifest. Unmanifest meaning it is actually manifest every second, but my attention is not on that. If I am hearing, tasting, smelling, touching, every sense perception is because of consciousness. Consciousness only is manifesting through all this. And yet I am not aware of it, so for me it appears unmanifest. That's why when you're asking where is God, where is consciousness, what is the truth, I am searching the truth. That's why Kabir Das ji said, Pani mein mein piyasi, mohi suni suni aave hasi. How is this fish so thirsty in the water? And this small fish is looking here, there, everywhere, running frantically from one place to another. So the big fish asks the small fish, what happened? What are you searching? So the small fish says, I am searching for the water. Big fish says, all around you, everywhere is water only. He says, no, this is ocean. I am searching for water. Now this fish is having some concept of water in the mind and thinking this is ocean and I am searching for water. That ocean only is this water. Same way, our mind creates all kinds of concepts and it is stuck in that because identified with name, form, qualities, attributes, all that. And so it doesn't see consciousness. So appears as unmanifest, avyaktam. Otherwise, what is vyakta also is consciousness only, and what is avyakta is anyway consciousness. Because whatever we are seeing is appearance of consciousness. So vyakta also is consciousness, avyakta also is consciousness. But very weird it is, neither avyakta we are experiencing nor vyakta we are experiencing as consciousness. We are thinking, oh, this is a tree. When a foreigner asked Gurudev, what is this? Looking at a mango tree, he didn't know what it is. First time he has come and is seeing. Gurudev said, this is existence in the form of a mango tree. So the idea is, it is vyakta every moment. In the Upanishad it comes, Kena Upanishad it is said, Pratibodha Viditam Matam. Bodham Bodham Prati. In every thought it is consciousness alone which is there. Where is it unmanifest? Gurudev used to say that with every thought is an opportunity to recognize consciousness. So when thoughts are there, consciousness is there. When it is not there also, it is there. So it is there at all times. But yet it is avyakta because my attention is on the object. So I have to shift, saying I am that unmanifest consciousness which appears as unmanifest. Otherwise it alone is. So achintyam, avyaktam. How will that which is avyakta become vyakta? That is a process of sadhana. Milk has all the butter inside it in an avyakta rupa. In the Gita also Bhagavan says that Maya tatabidam sarvam jagad avyakta murtina. Ninth chapter it comes. Maya tatamidam sarvam. I pervade this. By me the whole world is pervaded in the unmanifest form. Unmanifest because of this only, because our attention is on the manifest. So we feel consciousness is unmanifest. But otherwise, it alone is. So, achintyam avyaktam, the process of manifesting it from the unmanifest is what we call sadhana. When the mind has become single pointed, pure, then the attention shifts, then one realizes, sorry, it was always there, it was never unmanifest. The butter was always there in the milk. We couldn't see it. Then we make the buttermilk out of it, and then they take the whatever, the curd is put, and the curd, in little bit of curd in that milk, and that slowly that whole milk will become curd, and then that buttermilk, and then that malai of the milk has been removed, and then do the churning, etc. Butter will come out. It was all there only, hidden in that milk. Now the point is, mind when it is put through the process of sadhana, it becomes detached, it becomes single pointed, it will recognize, oh, I am that consciousness. Achintyam, avyaktam, anantarupam. It is infinite forms. It is not only one. If we see the forms, if we see absolute truth, it is one. Ekam also will come as a pointer. But Anantarupam, meaning all the forms belong to that consciousness. Because it's appearance of that only. How strange, now it is Avyaktam and Anantarupam is put in one line, one after the other. It is unmanifest and yet it has infinite forms. Looks like a oxymoron. Not oxymoron, looks like a contradictory idea. But it is not contradictory. It is the same truth expressed from different levels. From manifestation level, it is Ananta Rupam. But because attention is on the form, it looks as one only. It appears as one manifest. So it is of all forms belong to it only. Which means that even if I identify with this as I, this is me, one says, no, no, this form belongs to consciousness. Like how the devotee will say that this is equipment of God only. God only can use it. I am nobody. I am a zero. This is instrument of God in the hands of God. God utilizes it the way God wants. I have nothing to do with this. So one drops all sense of Jiva Bhav. Same thing in Vedanta. Ananta Rupam. Consciousness only appears as infinite form. So all this is divine, including this. Then I don't think of this as small I. This is consciousness, that is consciousness, everything is consciousness. Like every form in the dreamer's dream is nothing but the dreamer's mind. This separation that this is a human, this is a mountain, this is a plant, this is a bird, this is a river, that is all functional division. Otherwise, it's all appearance of consciousness alone. Today, that is being explained at the deepest level in science also. What? That there is only one truth. If you go to the atomic level, subatomic level, string, quark, all that, there is only one substance which is appearing as whole thing. The building block is the same. That is from material level. But go still deeper into quantum physics, they will say consciousness is the basis of everything in this creation. It is not matter. It is one truth, one consciousness alone, appearing as so many. And that appearance is there only when you are there as the observer. If you are not there, this is not there. This is what Vedanta said. More of it we will continue in our next class. For today, we will spend the next 10 minutes in doing Niridhyasan on the four words. Sit quietly, sit erect, your head, neck, and the spine in a straight line. Close your eyes gently, relax your shoulders, let your posture be erect, let your hands be in your lap or on your thighs, palms facing the sky. If you are sitting on a chair, place your feet firmly on the ground. Come to a comfortable posture without any strain in any part of the body. Thank Bhagwan for all the blessings in your life. Invoke gratitude. Thank Bhagwan for this beautiful opportunity of this life, this human birth, of all the experiences of knowledge. Thank Bhagwan for this opportunity to contemplate. Also thank Bhagwan for any challenges that we may have, any difficulties. They all are opportunities to grow, to evolve. Know that Bhagwan is with us at all times. So let go of any hesitation, fear, doubt, and invoke bhakti and shraddha, devotion and faith. This is the first step, preparation and posture. Second step, auto-suggestion. Suggest to your mind that for the next 10 minutes, I am steady and still without any movements. I am steady and still without any movements. Except breathing, no other movements. I am alert, awake, and quiet. I am alert, awake, and quiet. I am an Atyashramastri. I am only a seeker or a devotee who is detached. I am a detached seeker or a devotee. I am here to know the truth, to realize the self. Third step and fourth, we will combine relaxation of the body and deep breathing. Let your breathing be slow, steady, and deep. Be aware of every breath that you take. With each breath, feel that your body is flooded with light and energy. And as you exhale, let go of any stress or strain in the body or the mind. Slow, steady, and deep inhalation without any jerks. Slow, steady, and complete exhalation. Fifth step, in your heart or in the space between the two eyebrows, invoke the form of your Sadguru. If you don't have a Sadguru, invoke the form of your Ishtadevata. If you don't have Ishtadevata, invoke the Supreme through the light, a circle of light. Prostrate in front of your Sadguru. With all devotion, we invoke the grace and blessings of the Sadguru. You can chant loudly if you like. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देवदेव त्वमेव सर्वं गुरुदेवदेव। Or some flowers at the feet of the Sadguru, prostrate in front of the Sadguru. May the grace of the Sadguru lead us, guide us, and protect us. Repose the form of the Sadguru back into your heart. Now we contemplate on the truth as consciousness, as the self. Pundarikam virajam vishuddham विचिन्त्य मध्ये विशदं विशोकम् the core of my personality, in the heart, I contemplate that I am that pure consciousness, Vishuddham. Impurities belong to the BMI. I am the purest, unaffected, infinite consciousness. I am Virajam, without any dirt, without any attributes, beyond the three gunas. I am infinite consciousness. I am Vishadam, self-luminous, Swayambhu, thoughts come and go, but I remain always. I am independent, clear, pure consciousness. BMI and the world depends on me. I am not dependent on them. I am the illuminator of the BMI, perceptions, emotions, and thoughts. I am unaffected by them. I am Vishadam, clear and bright, ever shining, ever existent. Even death cannot destroy me because I am existence that will never become non existent. I am Vishokam, beyond grief. My nature is absolute bliss. Beyond the pleasure of the body, joy of the mind, happiness of the intellect. I am the independent, infinite bliss. Anand is my Swarupa. I am happiness. I don't have to search for happiness. I am that infinite happiness or bliss. Ripundarikam virajam vishuddham vichintya madhye vishadam vishokam. Ripundarikam virajam vishuddham विचिन्त्य मध्ये विशदं विशोकम् I am beyond three gunas. I am the purest. I am self-luminous. I am infinite bliss. With the grace of the Sadguru, may we come to realize this consciousness. Be aware of your breath. Be aware of your body. Be aware of the happenings around you. Thank the Sadguru. Offer your prostrations at the feet of the Sadguru. Feel that the hand of the Sadguru is on your head. The grace and the blessings of the Sadguru pervade your being. We pray for the well-being of everyone. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Rub your palms, place them on the face, and gently open your eyes. Any questions for today? Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you, everyone.